You know, there's this thing called the Potter Valley Project. And some people know what it is, some people don't. They've seen it in the media, they've seen that we, jointly between Sonoma County, Mendocino County, Inland Power and Water, and the Round Valley Tribe have put in a proposal recently to continue a diversion at appropriate times that allows for fish passage. In the early 1900s, I think it was 1903, PG&E or whoever that was before, created a project to provide power to the Ukiah area. They took water from the Eel River, they drilled a tunnel through the mountain and dropped that water into a new headwaters, a brand new headwaters for the Russian River. What this created in the early 1900s was a total change in the river structure and in all of the communities that depended upon that water. The reason the diversion was actually created had nothing to do with water. It had to do with creation of electricity, hydropower. So it was used to provide electricity for the booming area, Ukiah Basin, others. It filled up Lake Mendocino, which it's done for the last 100+ years predominantly. And then out of Lake Mendocino, we in Sonoma County and also in the Ukiah Basin of Mendocino County and all the way out to the ocean, we've benefited from having water fill up Lake Mendocino and then continue down the Russian River and to provide for our fisheries, for our community, and also for our economy. In the sense of Sonoma Water and Mendocino County Inland Power and Water, and then also the Round Valley Tribe and others, is we've tried to present what we feel is the best solution to honor the Eel River needs, to honor also this side of the diversion, to acknowledge that Lake County, with Lake Pillsbury, which is upstream of the Potter Valley diversion, needs to be made whole and needs to have restoration projects and recreation and other things as a part of whatever happens with Lake Pillsbury. But what we have done is we have petitioned to PG&E to say we want to, let's just say it straight, we want to respectfully manage a diversion so that it doesn't harm the eel, that when there's floodwaters on that side, high water coming through the system is that we're able to continue that so that it can continue to feed the Russian River, the salmonid needs, the fisheries needs, and also the community needs and the economy and the agricultural needs that have built up around this structure over the past 100+ years. Investing in water supply activities. So that starts with conservation. Working with private landowners to make sure that when a heavy amount of rains come and that water is rushing down the Russian River, is we create appropriate ways, legal ways to divert that water, to get that water back onto the land so that it sinks down into the lower aquifers as opposed to just flies out down the river and out into the ocean. We want to do what many of the conservation districts call slow it, sink it, spread it. Some people stand on one side or the other and they fight for that one side. But for those of us who are in positions of public trust, is, we got to do our best to try and find the magic middle. It's a really difficult one because, as they say in California, whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting over. We do not live in a world in the current day California where we can waste a single drop of water. There's not unanimity in the solution. There's folks who would want there to be no diversion whatsoever. But we did work with Congressman Huffman and folks on the Eel and Mendocino County and others, and we agreed upon something called a two-basin solution. And that's what we're pursuing, which is a solution for both sides to be able to continue. So I think that's a pivotal point, is at the beginning of these negotiations with the folks who really wanted the diversion to be gone forever, to go the way of the dinosaurs, or for the others who wanted it to continue the way it's always been, is there was an understanding under that leadership and with Congressman Huffman is that we needed to provide a two-basin solution because we have built up our communities and our real civilization here on the North Coast around that reality. This issue has this crazy title. It's called the Potter Valley Project. But what it really is it's about water sustainability for the North Coast. Sonoma County, Mendocino County, Humboldt County, and Lake County are all at the table along with partners, whether it's Cal Trout, National Trout Unlimited, conservation partners, farm bureaus. Everybody is here because they know that water is life, and this is the most important thing. And the reality is that our system has been built. Our civilization here, post-contact, has been built with this water supply of the Potter Valley Project coming through the eel, and us making sure that the future is sustainable diversion at best, right? Is if there's harm done, it can't be done to the eel side and to the fishery over there if we're going to divert. That is what is responsible. On this side, we got to make better use of water. That's Mendocino County, Sonoma County, others. Lake County is in a tough situation because they're losing something that has been an asset for generations. Lake County has to be supported to have a rejuvenation and a reinvestment back into what Lake Pillsbury and Scott Dam have been there over years, as it looks like that's going to go away. And so that's the commitment. That's the commitment. That's why I'm here working my tail off. That's why you all are here caring about it. You know, this is the tough stuff. It's like untangling, a mess of fishing line and then figuring out how it lines up for the future. But the commitment is there to do it right and do it honestly and do it openly, and to understand that there's angst that won't be overcome in a heartbeat, but that by sitting at the table and staying at the table, we can achieve a two-basin solution. We can do what's right for us and our other county partners.